Most photographers spend more time looking for work than actually taking pictures. Every wedding means finding another wedding. Every senior session means finding another senior. Every family portrait means starting over. It's exhausting. It's like being on a hamster wheel. There's one niche where you can get off the hamster wheel. Clients come back year after year. I've built a business around team sports photography, and today I'm going to show you exactly how it works. I will give you a quick outline of what you need to be successful in team and individual photography. And if you stay until the end of the video, I will tell you how to register to win a pair of battery-powered Interfit Badger Unleashed studio lights to help you get your sports photo business off the ground. I will also go more in-depth in a series of videos to give you more detailed instructions on equipment and processes that make team and individual photography so profitable, so be sure to like and subscribe to the Photography Blueprint channel. Why this photography business is different. Shooting team and individual photos for youth sports leagues and school teams, middle school and high school, is different because you will shoot these same teams year after year as long as you do a good job. I have shot some small leagues for about 10 years, and a few of my schools I have been taking photos for them for about 8 years. With a small league of about 120 participants, I can shoot in 3 to 4 hours on a Saturday morning and get about $2,700 in orders. With my system for small leagues, that's a profit of about $2,400 for that job, and I shoot that league twice a year, once in the spring and again in the fall. With a few of my schools, I shoot every sport the school offers: football, cross country, volleyball, boys and girls basketball, boys and girls soccer, baseball, softball, powerlifting, boys and girls track. One school means you will photograph about 500 players throughout the school year. That's a profit of about $20,000 for a school. How much marketing do you have to do to get 500 clients in front of your camera? Schools have to be shot during the school day, usually first thing in the morning or last period of the day, sometimes both in the morning and the afternoon. How many other clients are you able to shoot during the normal workday? So, as you can see, it doesn't take many leagues and schools until you are making some serious money. I have kept my business fairly small, so I don't have to hire any full-time employees. I hire some additional photographers on my largest shoots, an 800-player youth soccer league and varsity football shoots. I provide all the equipment when I do these large shoots, including the cameras, studio lighting, backgrounds, and everything needed for a photo station. But don't worry, when you are starting out, you can only shoot small leagues and smaller school team programs. A large school football program will have up to 200 players and coaches for the varsity, JV, and freshman teams. And you need to finish photo day in at most a couple of hours. I shoot photos of more than 10,000 subjects during the year, and don't have to do any marketing to get them in front of our cameras. Do a good job, and you will shoot those leagues and teams every year if you want to. Sometimes you have to fire a team or league. Why would you fire a client? Maybe it's not a profitable shoot, or the coach or league gets too demanding. The equipment you need. To get started in this business, you need at least 2 cameras, one for you to shoot and one as a backup. A 50mm lens, 3 studio lights, a remote for the studio lights, a white or gray background, and background stand, and a vinyl mat that shows the players where to stand. That's it. We shoot indoors for every sport, even large youth sports leagues. Shooting indoors allows you to completely control the lighting, and you never have to worry about having to cancel because of the weather. The type of photos that we deliver are composite images, which means we remove the background from the original photo and place that photo onto a digital background. We also create digital team photos, which most coaches love. Every player's eyes will be open and looking at the camera. If a player quits the team a few weeks after photo day, it's easy to remove that player from the team photo when the coach requests it. We used to shoot on green screen, but because of advances in Photoshop, we can easily remove the background on a gray or almost any color background. And there is software that will automate creating the composite individual and team photos. The automation helps you get the photos back to the school or league within 2 weeks. The biggest mistakes beginners make. To keep parents happy, for youth leagues where you have parents at the shoot, you have to keep the photo lines as short as possible and get the photos back to them within 2 to 3 weeks. Before you ever take a photo, you also have to set up your organization and workflow, including: how do you plan to fulfill the orders? a lab, self-fulfill, digital-only products. How do you plan to take orders? What is your price list? How do you plan to keep each player's name associated with their images? What poses do you plan to shoot and how many shots will you take of each player? One of the biggest mistakes is not having your prices ironed out. You don't want to be too low or too high. If your prices are too low, you will struggle to make a profit. Do not put a lot of low-priced items on your price list. Don't let parents order a low-cost print just so they can scan a copy of that print and have more printed elsewhere. Also, make sure your digital file is priced at least as high as a higher-end print package. Offer a set of 8 to 12 digital photos for $99 or $119, which gives you a nice order with very little cost to fulfill that order. You don't need to take 8 to 12 poses. Just 3 poses with each on 4 different backgrounds will give you 12 unique images. Another mistake you can make is taking too many photos of each player. Do not overshoot on photo day. No more than 3 to 4 poses. Any more, and you won't get everyone photographed in a timely manner. A great way to speed up photo day is to get a banner printed that shows each pose you are shooting. You can then tell the players to give me pose 1, pose 2, pose 3, and pose 4. After the shoot, I recommend using the in-tag system when you take photos of sports teams. You need to get a list of players on each team, then you check in players on a phone or iPad before taking their photo. The in-tag system has a small piece of hardware that plugs into your camera. It communicates with your tablet via Bluetooth and will write a different 3-digit code into each photo you take. So after you check in a player on your tablet, it writes that player's 3-digit code into the photo's metadata. You have to be sure to check in each player before taking their photos to make sure the correct code gets written into the photos. On Canon cameras, it writes the code into the copyright field. Because that code is already in the photos when we take them, I am able to use software called Photo Mechanic to download the memory card after the shoot. By setting up the photo download correctly in Photo Mechanic, the software will sort the photos by player and team. There will be a folder for every team that you shoot. Inside that folder will be a folder for every player on the team. Each player's photos are sorted into their own folder. Photo Mechanic creates all of the folders and sorts the photos into the correct folders in the few minutes it takes to download the photos. Sorting the photos after a large shoot used to take me a day of sorting out photos, but not when I am using in-tagged. It's well worth the cost of the hardware and the monthly cost of paying for the names list. After you have the photos downloaded, you need to remove the background from the photos and put them into a graphical template. This can all be done in Photoshop, or you can automate this work by using software called PixNub. Once you have that finished product, you can upload to the web, either your lab's website or your own website, to allow parents to order. I recommend doing prepay so you get money before you ever take photos. Many parents will forget about looking at galleries online after the fact. Getting your first client. Getting your first client can be fairly easy if you have already taken some test shots and have sample images to show off. You also need to have a business website that shows off additional sample photos. I have gotten many jobs just because people found my business website online. Take photos with your professional lighting and put them on some awesome digital backgrounds that match team colors, so they will be striking to look at. Reach out to individual teams and small rec center leagues. Also look to see if there are any upward leagues in your area. These are typically smaller leagues, so the big professional companies don't want to tie up a Saturday to shoot a small league. To get a school team, reach out to the school district's athletic director and ask how they select photographers for their team and individual photos. Here in Texas, most schools let each coach select their own photographer. Once you shoot photos for one team at a school, give that coach free team photos and some digital individual photos they can use on social media in their program. Keep the coach happy and don't give them a reason to find a new photographer. If you do a great job, he will recommend you to other coaches at the school. For youth sports leagues, a small league is where you want to start to get your system ironed out. Do not use your connections to shoot a 900-player league as your first job. That is a recipe for disaster. You will most likely have long lines during photo day and struggle to get the photos turned around in a timely manner. Learn how to run a successful photo day at a small league Before going after the big leagues, go by the city rec center and ask to talk to the person in charge of the sports leagues. Take along your sample photos and a price list. If the sports director recently got some complaints about the most recent photo day, they will be very open to taking a look at what you have to offer. You may not get the first league you talk to, but keep going back every 6 months or so. Sooner or later, the current league photographer will have a bad day and the director is open to changing. Or maybe the director is new to the rec center and he has no idea who was the photographer in the past. A change in the coach, league board, or rec center director is one way you can lose a job that you think will be yours for years to come. Now that we have reached the end of this overview of team and individual photography, you can register to win the Interfit Badger Studio lights. These are two slightly used lights, an extra battery, and the camera remote. Buying these used right now will cost you about $400, so if you are looking to get started in team and individual photography, these lights will be a good place to get your feet wet. I only use battery-operated lights on my shoots because you don't have to have electrical cords running around the floor. That becomes a trip hazard. To register to win the Badger lights, leave a comment below and include Badger lights in the comment. When the views of the video get to 10,000, I will announce the winner and contact the winner as well. Be sure to like and subscribe because I plan on doing a series of videos to go into more detail about team and individual photography to give you more information about using studio lights, camera settings, poses, pricing team and individual sports photography for maximum profit, lab and vendor recommendations, how to set up background templates and where to buy them, my complete order fulfillment process. Share your own photography aspirations in the comments, subscribe to the Photography Blueprint channel for more business tips, and check out our related videos on building a photography portfolio. Drop a comment on what you want to hear about next. The beauty of this business isn't that you'll get rich overnight. It's that you're building relationships that can last for years. Do a great job this season, and there's a good chance you'll be back next season, and the season after that. Eventually, you spend less time chasing customers and more time doing what you actually love, making photographs. See you next time. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can get more information about building a team and individual sports photography business.